She said that I'm a robot and I don't have emotions.
Yes.
And I definitely have emotions.
Okay.
I just sometimes I can't express them the way that she would recognize them, nor are sometimes it's not appropriate for me to allow them to dictate any type of reaction because the situation demands emotionless action.
And this is where it's gonna get interesting, okay? Because my wife,
Okay.
I used to be accused of being cold for the exact same reasons that you just described, okay? My
Okay.
wife said, "You're cold and unfeeling." And I said, "No, I have emotions. I just am more conscious of how" just what you said. You said it beautifully, right? You said, "Sometimes my emotion that I'm feeling is not gonna be productive in this certain situation, and I don't express the emotion," right?
Yep.
Because I realize that's a problem. It's I have that emotion, okay? I'm not c but me not expressing it in that moment, she would say, "You're cold," right? And I would say, "No, I'm not cold. You're a robot. You don't have emotions." And I would say, "Of course I have emotions." And she would say, "No, not healthy. You're sticking them all in a box and you're suppressing and you're gonna explode and kill something or someone," or my wife knew me before,
Oh, yeah.
right? And I would say, "No, I'm not. I just am I don't wanna let every emotion I have come forth freely with" right? And this was a battle
Yeah.
we had for a long time, right? And here's where it got interesting, is I think I've told you the story. At one point, my wife was overwhelmed with worry for the future of our kids. And she got out the cost formula and she realized that was a challenge and it was keeping her up at night. And she wasn't getting good sleep and she was nervous about everything they did. And she was, could she get them into the right therapies? Could she do this? Could she do that? Was she being a good mom? Was she, all of these things? I'm making a mistake here. Am I giving them what they need? All these things were creating this world of fear and concern. And it was causing her physical problems as well as a lot of emotional problems, right?
Mhm.
And I've told you one day I came home and she just had a grin on her face and she had taken the cost formula and created a strategy for herself she called good versus evil. And she basically decided which emotions led her away from God and which emotions led her towards God. And she consciously made an effort when she felt when she was challenged by the bad emotions or the emotions that were unproductive. She made a conscious effort to identify those and then flip the switch and focus on the opposite emotion, right? And I even grabbed the sheet of paper, you know, obsession versus calmness, right? These are
Mm.
opposites of this is what she wrote. Worry versus comforted. These are opposite emotions, right? Doubt versus belief.
Yeah.
Discouragement versus encouragement. Confusion versus enlightenment. This is a list of emotions she made that she knew when she felt those emotions, when she was tempted by those emotions, they were going to run her away from goodness and take her
Hmm.
in a direction that didn't lead her to happiness and joy in God. Right. And so she
Yeah.
made this conscious decision to, and in doing so, it changed her dramatically. Right. She became much more calm and she wasn't so stressed out. When things went wrong, she wasn't so stressed out. She would just say, I'll take care of it. And it's not the end of the world. Right. She really was very good at it. And at one point, she came to me and she said, "This exercise taught me something about you." And I said, "What did it teach you about me?" And she said, "Well, what it taught me was that I was calling you cold because you were managing emotions and I couldn't. And it felt virtuous for me to call you cold instead of me learning how to manage my emotions.
Whoa.
Now,
Wow.
this is a kick in the face to a lot
Yeah.
of people, right? Emotions are so powerful and in a not good way. Okay. And she said, I realize you're not cold. You're just not just letting your emotions take over. But I thought you were suppressing everything because I couldn't not let my emotion take over. So I thought I was
Right.
virtuous because my emotions were real. You were not virtuous because your emotions were being suppressed and you were going to explode. She said, that's not what I learned.
Yeah.
She said, you don't fly off the handle. She said, I can tell you're mad, but you don't succumb to that emotion. Right. And just so we all know, let's be totally transparent here. Number one, we should all be accountable, 100% accountable to ourselves. And what I mean by that is we should give ourselves a lot of grace. Okay.